I worked as an associate for a pair of doctors that were incredible mentors, great gentlemen, easy to practice with and easy to learn from. And I was happy. I was very happy in that position. They're the ones that did the hiring and the firing. They're the ones that did the payroll. They're the ones that stressed over marketing. They're the ones that stressed over everything. And I was just a dentist. I just focused on being a dentist. And I thought that's the way it's going to be forever. But they were also good enough to recognize my potential. And so they started turning me over more and more responsibility. And as they did so, I recognized my capacity to practice dentistry was also increasing because I could see other perspectives. And of course, I started getting more interested in having my own practice, creating my own culture. But I had no interest in being a businessman. I had no interest in focusing on marketing. I didn't want to get stuck in practicing dentistry, but also thinking about how much this was going to lead to my bottom line. And those are some things that I was considering. So it came down to the question of whether I wanted to have more influence over the culture of my office and the price I'd have to pay of focusing on the business of dentistry. So that began a dialogue. And as we worked on this collaboration that eventually became Capstone, I learned a good deal more. I also realized that corporate dentistry is succeeding because they have more buying power. They have a lot of business-minded individuals on the other side making really smart decisions. I just found that wasn't the part of dentistry that I wanted to be a part of. I wanted to have somebody enable me, not make sure that I was enabling them, that I was a tool. And I wanted to get away from that. So Capstone became more than just a way for me to practice dentistry and to grow, but it was also a way for me to encourage better dentistry and to compete in a market that is ever becoming more corporatized. What I found Capstone to do for me is allow me to focus on the dentist I want to be, but at the same time have an office and encourage a culture that makes sense for me. It's also allowed me not to be overwhelmed, not to be drowned by the business side of dentistry. And without having the business side of dentistry influence me unawares. What do you do when so-and-so calls up and says they can't make it? Or when somebody has to be fired? What about the patients that are angry or upset? Or the lab that is making you miserable and you don't know who to turn to? It's a nice breath of fresh air to know that there's a partner who thrives off of working off of those details. It's nice to have an advisor who is just as excited about getting this hurdle taken care of, who's not being paid by the hour, who's actually going to benefit when you succeed at getting this problem resolved and in the best interest of getting it resolved correctly. Not just, here's my fee, here's my contract, and okay, I've got it fixed and I'm off. These are people who are in it to the finish line. And that allows me to drive home with a sense of peace that I didn't think I would ever have by owning my own practice.